Let me know if I sound okay, guys. Let me know if I sound all right. Let me know. What's going on, guys? Hope you guys are doing good. I hope everyone's doing well. Enjoying this Thursday. We're just chilling today. Okay. So yeah, 18th day in a row for free agency, and obviously what's left to do, and it's a wait and see approach with a lot of things, really, since we had the owner and the GM meetings for the rules in the league, and obviously a lot of interviews. So far as of right now, when it comes to the Hassan Reddick situation, it seems like it's at a standstill. That's really where it's at. But first we'll go over some of the little things here. So it looks like Rick Lovato switching his number to 49. Looks like he's going to be giving Devon White his 45. And then there's a bunch of stuff on Hassan Reddick. From Andrew DeCecco said some things. Says the longer this goes on with Hassan Reddick, the league tells you what you're worth, and the Eagles are winning a stare down with Hassan Reddick. Time's ticking here. The longer this drags on, starts to seem likely that Hassan could be back. So we know that Hassan is not budging from what he wants, and we know that the Eagles are not budging either from what they want. They want a second round pick for Hassan Reddick. No team wants to give them that. And I get why they don't. I get because they compare to what other trades have been going on. Especially around the league. Unless the only way I could see them making a move or trading him for less compensation is if he gets into the offseason program and says, I'm going to hold out. If he holds out and says, I'm going to hold out the whole year unless I go somewhere else, if he's that petty, which I really can't see it happening, I don't see them getting into anything like that. But if that does happen, then I feel like, they don't have to do anything. They can let him rot on the sideline. They won't forcefully bench him, but if he just takes himself out, it's more cap space for the Eagles at the end of the day, because, if he doesn't play every week, he doesn't practice every week, then, yeah, it'll be a big major problem. What's going on, Ryan? I have a feeling Hassan Reddick agrees to whatever contract extension the Eagles give him. I totally agree. Let me say hi to everybody in the chat too. Tommy, what's going on? Sean Glenn, what's going on, man? Really Philly, what's going on, dude? Nerd Monkey, what's going on, man? John the Don, what's up? Isaiah Stretching, what's going on? Terrence, what's going on? Aiden. Enrique Garcia, what's going on, dude? Sean says give him 19-20 a year, and let's make some competitive games this year. Yeah, I don't know if an extension is going to happen. I think he's going to play on his current contract. I think they're going to restructure him. I think they're going to give him more bonus money up front, more guaranteed up front, just for this year. Get your $11 million. The most important thing is they need to get their $11 million in cap space. Obviously, Reddick isn't going to be happy playing on the current contract, so they must have to, they have to at least try and restructure him. That's really what they have to do here. Because for me at least, I would like for them to at least extend him for like 1 year, if they could, that'd be great. But that's just the way it is sometimes. Let's see here. Go on, Stefano. Beer brother, what's going on? Michael, what's up? Tommy, what's up? Blake says, what's up, Joey? Listen to you as I get ready for work. Well, I hope you enjoy your day at work, dude. Come on, Deet. What's going on, Drew? Nina, what's going on? What's up? What's up? The one and only Ron the Don Smith. What's going on? Hey, he said, what up, Joey? I really want the Eagles to draft Nate Wiggins from Clemson Tigers as their cornerback one. Hey, I made a video this morning on this cornerback spot. Okay. Because I feel like Bradbury is going to get moved. Not traded, but I feel like they will post him at a June designation. The only problem I have right now, and really not even really a problem, I feel like they're not, and surprisingly, why haven't they pushed hard to get Bradbury out the building? I think part of it is they do have time, and Bradbury's already here, and I think part of it is they already have somebody in-house that will take that spot, or I think they're taking a lot of, I feel like Cooper Dijon is probably smoke, or they really do have interest in him. I feel like Cooper Dijon, because he can play multiple positions, he is a hybrid player. Okay. I feel like they're going to upgrade from within. I think, and what I heard from Jeffrey Lurie about Isaiah Rodgers the other day was like, he is part of our future plans. He was one of the best cornerbacks, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. Okay, because he was obviously suspended from the gambling this year. So I feel like they're trying to get one of these back end dudes that's already homegrown on our roster right now and trying to start them in that second spot. And then nickel, obviously you signed Tyler Hall. You're not bringing Avonte Maddox back, it looks like. Okay. I feel like you're going to fill in that outside spot with, you could fill him with Isaiah Rodgers, and you could go like Cooper Dijon, Cooper DeJean, whatever, to fill whatever spot that's left in your secondary. Maybe they value him a lot more. Maybe he's a bunch of smoke. Maybe they're going after somebody else. You know what I mean? So I feel like there's a lot going on. I feel like, I mean, look, pre-draft visits are pre-draft visits at the end of the day, but obviously some of these pre-draft visits are smoke too. And guys that they don't bring in, you can't really say that they're not on them. I mean, I think we did that with Andre Dillard. I don't think they even had an interview with Andre Dillard in the offseason, What's going on, Steve? Guys, I really don't want to trade Reddick for a second. If they do, watch out for the pick to be 25, not 24, since we only got 5 draft picks in 25. Just growing any confidence. Yeah, I mean, we're going to get comp picks. I'm not worried about that. I don't know if teams are interested in giving up a second round pick for 25. That's the whole thing with this. Fair enough, you can't even get one this year. And I don't think the Eagles want a pick swap. I think they want like a pick given to us, which, you know what? I have no issue with. I don't want a pick swap. I think Hassan Reddick has a lot of value. To me he does, not to the rest of the league as of right now. But it's gonna be interesting. So, Ant, the no Wiggins. Go on, Killer Ghost. John says, hey, what position will we draft? Like I said, I always say that I always say that they should draft a corner in the first round. I feel like you really need a homegrown talent. I'm starting to like Dallas Turner a lot because I feel like with him, he's more of a. I feel like he could play edge and he could be in coverage. I think he's athletically solid enough to play as an outside linebacker if you really need him to. I feel like there's plenty of avenues that can go. Edge rusher could be, obviously the edge rusher, like I said, could be another one that they do. They can go after a DT in the first round again. I mean, they could. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know what they're going to do here. I mean, I would love to go full out linebacker, but I know they're not going to do that, but so I said, hey, tuning in like always. I always want to know what you think is the most important position we should draft this besides corner. Most important position to draft, I'd probably say it's tough because I feel like they need a linebacker. They have bodies there, but I think they need depth like badly at offensive line. Matt Hennessy is like your only depth that you have right now. That's it. You don't have a backup right tackle. You don't have a backup left tackle. I mean, Tyler Steen doesn't even play left tackle at this point. He just plays right guard. So I think it's linebacker and offensive line, really depth-wise. You can always add another depth player to DT. You can always do little things like that, but people probably say safety is kind of weak because it's only Chauncey and Reed, and it's not enough. I think they're going to add another safety. PFF already had a statement today on Justin Simmons as he is the best number one fit for Philadelphia right now. So we'll see. Giovanni says Eli Ricks will have a big year. I don't know if he's going to have a big year this year, but I'll say that he did flash last year. I think Keely Ringo flashed a lot more. I think he flashed a lot more under the 2 games under Matt Patricia. As like he practiced for a week like with the team and did a good job there. So I think Ricks is competitive enough. I think he just needs some more time. I think all these guys need more time. That's why I'm not really comfortable with, at least Isaiah Rodgers. He's more proven. He's been a successful kick returner, and he's been a pretty damn good corner in this league so far at a young age. I mean, Isaiah Rodgers is only 20. I mean, you're very young at this position, which is great. You know what I mean? Very young. Ron said the 45 on White is going to look so damn mean, bro. Philly fans are in for a fun ride with Devon White this year. Watch this. Now, I'm excited about Devon White. I think he's going to revive his career. I think Fangio's going to use him in the right way possible. He's going to get after quarterbacks. He's going to be mean. He's going to be disruptive. And that's the Devon White that I know. You know what I mean? And I think he'll be a big re-sign candidate after this year. I really do. I think they will lock him up if he plays really well. I'm sorry, but you can't afford guys to be jumping out, running out the building. Especially Devon White's going to his prime, and this is the perfect time for the Eagles to get a prime-time player at 26 years old while this Super Bowl window is still open right now. Simmons hasn't signed yet. Julian Blackmon hasn't even signed yet. I mean, Julian Blackmon visited the Bills, didn't get a contract. He visited the 49ers, didn't even get a contract. So I don't know what's going on. I have no idea what's going on with him. So Code goes, how do you feel if Rodgers takes over for Bradbury and Hall plays in the nickel? If we don't draft a corner. So you want Rodgers to take over for Bradbury and Hall. Yeah, I mean, that would be perfectly fine. If Hall could actually, play, and that would be the plan right now. The plan would be Isaiah Rodgers taking over the outside of cornerback. I've had him originally on the inside, but it's starting to look like they're trying to fill in it's starting to feel like Isaiah Rodgers, they want to play him more on the outside. Tyler Hall, with limited snaps, has been a top corner in this league at a very, he had several suitors, okay, and the Eagles picked him up. So we'll see what happens, we'll see what happens. So, Joey, would you trade up for Donovan Mitchell or trade back for Xavier Worthy? Well, depending where we're at, I mean, yeah, I would be interested in both of those guys. I 100% think the Eagles are drafting a wide receiver after round 1. I do. I don't think they're set at wide receiver. They haven't really made it look like that. You know, Devontae Parker, nah. Paris Campbell has speed, has dealt with injuries. Probably fits the offense a lot better than most receivers that we have right now. But I don't even think he's the answer right now. I feel like they're going after somebody else. Do you want that big receiver in the Donovan Mitchell that's going to not only give you a chance at wide receiver 3 that he plays this year for a couple years, but then could transition to the outside receiver if he is becoming that dominant? You know, you can get like Xavier Legette from South Carolina. I really like him. He reminds me of A.J. Brown, but a faster type A.J. Brown. Donovan Mitchell, and I don't make too much out of 40s, but I think it's amazing, like when you see like these new receivers now that come out in this draft and they are just so athletic, they just look more athletic than some of the guys that are in the league right now. But obviously these guys have put a helmet on and actually play. Donovan Mitchell was, I think he was faster than Julio Jones and A.J. Brown from the combine. I mean, looks fast on tape, no doubt. Or do they want to go after the smaller receiver? Do they want to go after a Ricky Purcell? Do they want to go after, a Ladd McConkey or something like that? Just for a pure wide receiver 3 move, if that's where they want to go. So I just can't see them stopping at receiver right now. I feel like there's got to be one more body. I feel like there's one more body in motion when it comes to receiver, and we'll see what happens. My phone's gonna fucking die. That's not good. And yeah, I mean, I think we're in a really good spot right now, especially with our draft capital. I think we're good enough to move up, trade back, so I'm not worried about it. Anthony Cooper over Wiggins went right, but we will see. Yeah, I mean, look, I have no issue with Nate Wiggins at all. I think he plays big for his size. Like I know what he's 6'2". He's like 100. What is he like? So he doesn't weigh that much, obviously. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Sorry, that was actually Philly 500 just texted me just now. He just texted me just now. I haven't talked to him like all week. Usually I'm talking to him like every day about stuff, but I haven't talked to him. Been busy. Brandon, I say, hey Joey, just got here. Any news? Nah, I mean it's been quiet, but I mean the only news I've heard today so far is that the Eagles are in a standstill with Reddick. Like Reddick is trapped right now. Reddick wants his number, and the Eagles want a second-round pick for him, and no teams are budging for it. Who, Wiggins? Wiggins is a cornerback. Yeah, we are taking Wiggins if he gets to us, but I'm sorry, guys. Arnold, Mitchell, and Wiggins and DeJean are all projected to be gone before 22. And I can believe that. Now, is DeJean really going to be that? I mean, with the broken fibula that he's just starting to run really recently. Like that broken fibula, like, do you think he'll move down this draft a little bit? Do you think Howie likes DeJean not only because he thinks he's a good hybrid player for Fangio's scheme, because I think he fits very well in Fangio's scheme, especially if you play multiple positions, great. But do you think that Howie Roseman is taking advantage of this broken fibula that DeJean has had as like cost effective that he will get him later on in this draft? I mean, don't be surprised if he moves down a little bit. I don't know how bad that fibula, I don't know how, obviously it was bad because it was broken, but he didn't do any combine work. Someone's going to drop. Someone is going to, every time we feel like a player is going early, they never do. And it always happens. I think Howie Roseman's taking advantage of DeJean possibly being cost effective in the draft and getting him on a steal coming off an injury, because he does shit like that. You know what I mean? you could get, who knows? What if DeJean doesn't make it past the first round? What if he makes it past the first round? And how he's sitting there on day 2 with 2 second-round picks and says, holy shit, dude, like, I'm fucking moving up. Like, when they moved up for Keely Ringo, like, it was aggressive move it was an aggressive move to move up for Keely Ringo. Like, we were waiting for it. It happened. All right, Drew, have a good day at work, my friend. Enjoy it, man. Mike says, yeah, we could put Cooper, DeJean at safety and Chauncey have Hall in the slot, Roger. Yeah, that's with Cooper, DeJean, it's almost expected that the Eagles could throw him anywhere. You know what I mean? But it really depends on, like, how comfortable DeJean is, like, at certain positions. Like, he might not be comfortable at every single position. He'll be at that position and play it, but he might not be comfortable at it. But I think he could play inside, outside corner. I think that's good enough. And maybe some safety. I think that'd be great too. But if he could play both inside and outside, I would have no issue with it. So we're less than a month away from the draft. I mean, we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. God, Rich says, what up, Joey? Appreciate you, man. So I'm gonna be streaming for maybe another half hour because I'm going to a movie later. And yeah, I got some stuff to do today. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. My brain is dead today. My brain is like fucking dead today. So you're not getting a smart. I mean, I'm not smart anyway, but Ryan says, okay, so it'd be dumb to release Bradbury. We would take 10.1 cap hit and take 15.3 dead cap hit. It's like a divorce after 10 plus years of marriage. It's cheaper to keep her. No, see, there are people out there that think that this contract is like impossible to get out of. No, yeah, post June, it's $10.1 million. Okay, what they would do, Seth Joyner's the first one that said this during in season, late in the season, and I totally agreed with it. And there's a loophole to this whole thing with Bradbury's contract, okay? You release him, you designate him for a post-June cut, okay? He gets cut post-June, but before you cut him, you extend him, okay? You don't have to ask, you can ask, you say, Bradbury, look, like, we're gonna get rid of you, but, the 2-year extension that they give Bradbury is not for him, it's for us, okay? So, because at the end of the day, the Eagles will owe Bradbury some money, but, he ain't going to give a shit. He'll agree to an extension because he knows he's going to get paid. He'll get some salary from the Eagles the next couple of years. But extend his contract 2 years, post-June cut him, spread out that $10 million within a couple to a few years, and you got single-digit dead money numbers. You're perfectly fine. You can get out of this contract easily. Philly 500. Dre says, if we get DeJean, play him at safety. He's slow for a corner. I don't think he's slow at all. I don't know. I know college to NFL is way different, but I mean, he's real smooth, man. I mean, his movement is just insane. Okay. I know he's a white dude. Okay. I know he's white. All right. Because I know people are like, he's white. I don't know if we could draft a white cornerback this year. I always mention that because people, like, I swear to God, like, every time Cooper DeJean's name pops up, everybody, like, talks about his color, his race. I don't know. He's Caucasian white corner, That fucking guy can play, though. There's no doubt. Ron says DeJean can play corner. He can move us around. Okay. Any news on Devontae Smith? Why, an extension? No, nothing yet. I don't think we're gonna hear anything for a bit. Like, I don't think the Eagles are rushing. Like, they're gonna get it done. I think everyone needs to chill out. I think we're gonna be good. Court, what's going on? I'd rather have a younger safety like Julian Blackman. Yeah, Julian Blackman's coming off a big injury though, so he will be cheaper than Justin Simmons. He'll be cheaper in the long run. So if he works out, it's a low risk, high reward type move. They can go that direction. You know, so I think they'll be in good hands, man. They'll be in good hands. Blake says we could literally go any position in the first round besides running back and tight end. I'll be fine with it. Let me move down here because I feel like I'm skipping too much. Hey, Joey, safeties are devalued in the new NFL draft. In the trench never fails. No, I get it, but I think you need to still upgrade your back end. No doubt. I'm sorry, but we need to upgrade at safety. We've as much as I like Reed Blankenship, I think they can get somebody. I think there's better safeties in the draft, and I think there's better safeties in free agency right now. That if you're going for a Super Bowl, you need to make sure you have guys that can cover, guys that can tackle. And I think, you know, Reed is a great tackler. He's one of the hardest hitters on our D. So, you know, it's just one of those things where I think they, you know, I think Reed's lack of coverage, I think he's more in the box. But, you know, we'll see. I think they have been interested in getting another safety in the building and making Reed the number 3. So I think that's where they're going. Grace said Devon White is going to come in and take over our defense. It's going to be glory. I can't wait for Devon White. I'm really rooting for Devon White. And trust me, if I think he's going to be horrible, I would just say it. But I think he's really going to turn things around. I really do. Come on, Suo. Blackman and the Colts are renegotiating a contract. You know, I mean, I'm not really surprised. I mean, I don't know what he's been trying to look for. Like, you're coming off a big injury. Like, what are you looking for? I heard rumors that he was looking for a multi-year deal. Like, I don't think that's going to happen, bro. So he feels like the Colts are going to value him. Maybe the Colts just value him a lot more than other teams do. But I don't think the Eagles have even been in negotiations at all, or at least even attempted. I think maybe they do have interest, but they haven't reached out yet. So I don't know. Howie likes to play after like a couple weeks of free agency. Howie likes to do the waiting game. He likes to wait, and see who's available, and just keep waiting because the price is going to drop on a lot of guys. So he likes to do that. Brandon, completely unbiased. Do you think our roster is better than the 49ers now? I think both rosters are good. You know, like it. You know, depending on if they sign Ayuk to a big deal, which looks like it's going to happen. I don't know. But I mean, they took some shots from their defense. They lost their defensive coordinator, so they could have a coaching hinge this year. You know. I think the Eagles could have had a really good. I think the Eagles were fine with their roster. I think part of it, besides linebacker and obviously Nakobe Dean getting hurt, and you had like these 1-year deals and Avonte Maddox. Like, I don't think they had the best offseason last year because they just never made things. They never got an impactful free agent last year. And besides maybe like, you know, Zach Cunningham, that was a good player of the bad group. The safety position was weak. I think the biggest mistake the Eagles made was letting go of Chauncey. But they've won it. So hearing the news, after Chauncey was signed, a lot of news came out that the Eagles like regretted not getting Chauncey back. I think it was on Chauncey and his agent. I think they were waiting out. They were doing the same thing like Justin Simmons is doing. He kind of put an expensive price on his head. But the difference is, you know, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson like looked at himself as a safety, wanted to get paid as a top safety, but he only played safety for a year and was successful at it, you know, and most teams looked at Chauncey as a cornerback. So that's where we were at with that whole situation. But I feel like I think if we had better coaching last year, I think we would have done a little bit better. It's hard for me to say that if we wouldn't have beat them or not, you know, or we have a better roster. It doesn't come down to better roster. It comes down to coaching at the end of the day. I think the Eagles were I think when it comes to talent, I think they were just better. I think they were better. I think we're better at quarterback. I think we're better compared to the 49ers. I think we're better at a lot of positions. I think they have an upgrade over us when it comes to linebacker. They have good linebackers. They have a good running back now. Hopefully, with Saquon Barkley in here, we could kind of showcase him on what he would be in a really good system, and I'm really excited for that. That's a huge weapon, man. The huge Saquon Barkley is, I'm telling you, and they're gonna massively put him in the passing game like crazy. So I think we're good. I think that the problem was, and Jeffrey Lurie said this too at his press conference. He said, teams like the 49ers, like they had a little bit of a slump. There were some injuries, and Brock Purdy didn't play really well, but they rebounded during the season. We never rebounded. We really never soared up, to be honest, during the season. I'm not even speaking the last 7 weeks. Like, the Eagles never really got better. They just stayed in the same place and got very lucky in a lot of games, unfortunately. That's where we were at. So I think Reddick will play last year of his contract, and then the Eagles will extend him. Terry Garrett says, what do you think about Hassan Reddick and second round pick for a first round? For a first round, so we can have two first. It's not going to happen. That's definitely not going to happen. If you're looking for a first round pick, it was never going to happen, and it's not going to happen now, especially this late. It's definitely not going to happen. The longer this goes on, the longer this goes on, Hassan Reddick's not getting the deal that he wants, and the Eagles are not getting the compensation that they want. And trust me, it's already enough. It's hard enough for even them to even get a second round pick. They're not getting a first round pick. I'm doing Skull Cherry right now. Richie says, if the Eagles keep Bradbury, I will guarantee he will come close to his 22 season. Hey, look, if that's the case, that's another thing. They could look at it, and I already said this in videos before, like, they can look at it as, well, Vic Fangio was a consultant in 22, and Bradbury played really good under him. I mean, Bradbury's probably not. I mean, Bradbury's more of a zone guy than a man-on-man guy. Okay, we know this. And he played really well. But, the difference is, like, when you have no pass rush, you got no linebackers playing downhill, you're not running stunts, you're just basically lining up your guys and just playing regular. I mean, that's really all that you're doing. And if that's all you're doing, then you're not going to get anywhere. And I felt like Bradbury really, because he came in. I mean, look, at the end of the day, guys, like, before he got to the Philadelphia Eagles, he had a horrible season the year before. Okay, he gave up over 800 yards passing with the Giants before they let him go. He gave up over 800 yards. He hasn't been a Pro Bowler. He wasn't a Pro Bowler since 2020. Okay, so he went through his slump, came back to the Eagles and did great. But I think the pass rush obviously helps these cornerbacks, definitely helps Bradbury's case. You know what I mean? If the pass rush is set, Vic Fangio thinks that, Bradbury could really work out with this team this year. They might not move him. I mean, I'm just doing different scenarios where I think like Bradbury's going to get moved, and there could be a possibility, but they could keep him because he played really well under Fangio as a consultant, and they had a pass rush. When you have a pass rush like they did in 22, these corners are going to have these corners play the secondary just plays better. They just play a lot better. So, yeah, I think, I think on the table, I think they're going to be good. So we'll see what happens with that situation going forward. Jacob, what's going on, man? Jacob McKay with Super Chat. He says, I'm ready to see how Kellen runs the O. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be look, and I liked a lot what Jeffrey Lurie said, even going into like this season, hiring Kellen Moore, and they want a diverse offense. They want an offense that's not predictable. I think that's the number one thing we've kind of been looking for, obviously. But he's a top 10 coach in pre-snap motion. He's one of the highly most respected coaches. I mean, Keenan Allen had his, you're talking about one receiver. Keenan Allen had his best year That's why he didn't take a pay cut. The Chargers wanted Keenan Allen to take a pay cut. He's like, nah, hell no. I'm gonna go to the Chicago Bears and I'm getting paid. Keenan Allen goes to the Bears. I mean, he had a great season under Kellen Moore, and that's just one receiver. Really, the top two players in the Chargers offense was Eckler and Keenan Allen. Other than that, that's it. I mean, that was your offense on top of being injured too. The quarterback was injured. Everybody else was injured too. So, pre-snap motion. We'll move his receivers in different spots, crossers, hot routes, running from under center, passing from under center. I mean, it's almost a dream. This is going to be the best roster that Kellen Moore has ever been a part of. I'm telling you. If Kellen Moore has full control of this, man, just watch out, man. Watch out. That's all I got to say. You can't get any better than between your wide receivers, your tight ends, your quarterback, and now your running back is fully upgraded. You obviously have a 3-down back right now. And I think the whole world, not just the Eagle fans, I think the whole world wants to see what Saquon Barkley does on a better team, just in general, with a good offensive line, great receivers around. So, appreciate the Superman. Go on, Rock. Yeah, it's only his odd years, his even years, whatever it is. Yeah. It's weird. It's good season, bad season, good season, bad season. I don't know. I mean, if he's here past June, if there's nothing going on after the draft, if he's still the draft will tell us a lot even afterwards. So it's going to be interesting. Jose says, "What up, Joey? You think if Ty Bowers falls in our lap, would we snatch him? He can come be one of those generational talents." I mean, yeah, because these tight ends now, the new generation of tight ends now are becoming like wide receivers. They're so athletic now. They could, because look, at the end of the day, like Goddard's 28 years old. They don't have a number 2. They signed Albert O. They traded for Albert O last offseason and didn't do anything with him. I mean, they totally ignored even beginning of the year with Dallas Goedert, they barely threw to him. And then they started to target him a little bit more, and then he broke his forearm, obviously, and then they totally ignored the position, totally ignored it. One Day Wonder says, "Oh, Joey, go Birds. What do you think of the Eagles' record will be this year?" I'm thinking 13-4 at the very least. I'm not gonna go into the record because I got to see the schedule. I got to see what our team looks like after the draft. There's just too much. It's too early right now to go through all that. My opinion, I do it every year, but I hate going over the schedule. I hate doing schedules just because it's just unrealistic, because you're going through a season where you're expecting your team to be healthy, no issues, no problems, so I'm not a big fan of doing schedule reviews are just they're all right, but we'll see. I think they're looking at him to be more on the outside. From their perspective, I think they're looking for Isaiah Rodgers to be more on the outside. Lewis also kind of pissed that the Brazil game counts as a home game. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the Eagles still have 8 more home games, so really, it doesn't really make too much of a difference. But yeah, it kind of sucks that the first game we're going to see Saquon and this new offense and see what Vic Fangio and this defense is all about. It just kind of sucks that it's going to be in Brazil. The only good thing about it is, for content creators, that it's on a Friday night, which is great. Friday night, no work the next day, which is good. So Friday nights are great. Friday night football, when do we ever have that? We never have that for all of us. So it's you're going to the weekend. You don't got to worry about anything. It's great. Tim Garrett said, "We also had CJ Garner covering the back end of the year. Bradbury did good." Yeah, that's true. And you had coaches that know how to use their back end safeties as well if they needed help. I mean, the way that even Patricia was using Bradbury and putting him on an island on certain situations, I didn't really like either. But Thomas, I really want Rodgers to strictly play nickel. That's where he thrives. I don't want to move him outside cornerback, top cornerback we draft in the first round. Play outside. Well, it depends. That's why I say if they draft Cooper DeJean, they might put him on the inside. I think Cooper DeJean, like, you want that twitchy type guy on the inside. I think he could do either or. You know what I mean? Yes, when you draft a guy, and we don't know Cooper DeJean, we don't know where he's going to get drafted either. Like, what if he's not drafted the early first round? Like, what if the Eagles, what if he goes into the second round? Maybe because of this broken fibula injury, and his pro day, his pro day is April 8th, so we're going to see his testing to see how he looks. So hopefully that doesn't hurt. With a super chat, thank you so much. This sucks. The game is on Peacock. Yeah. Well, the worst thing you have to do is pay the $6, watch the game, and cancel it. I've always had Peacock. I have a bunch of apps. I pay for a bunch of shit. It just sucks that you have to. That's what they do. It's only one night. You know what I mean? But it's nice though. We're the second game of the first week, so we'll have Thursday night football, Friday night football, and Sunday, which is great. Monday. Isaiah Stretch says, are we going to run more this season coming up or throw the ball more? I think they're going to throw the ball more this season, but I think they're going to run more than they did last year. So that's really not that bad. I think Barkley is going to be used not only as a rusher, but I think Barkley is going to be heavily involved in the passing game. If you watch New Heights of Barkley, he did mention like a lot of teams like were looking at him not just as a bruiser type back, but they were looking at Barkley as a receiving back as well. That a lot of teams want to use him in that regard too. So I wouldn't take that off the table with Barkley. I think he's going to be in the. I think he's going to be completely in the passing game. I think he's going to definitely thrive in that. Richie says the new kickoff is not running play. Should Saquon Barkley be used on kickoffs? I don't know. Probably not. I think you could use a lot of other guys that don't necessarily start in games, that maybe show some quality of speed, maybe good blocking, that really don't get opportunities because of the other skill sets they don't have. We'll get more out of what they do in these kick returns. Yeah, you could if you want. It's a possibility they could use them there. You kind of don't want to ever use your big stars when it comes to kick return, punt return, stuff like that. You kind of want to make sure, I know it's a lot safer now because these guys aren't going to be taking the biggest hits on kickoffs now, because those two lines are going to be lined up all the way downfield on punt return, kick return, on punt and kick return, whatever. So. See, fibula heal 100% right. No worries on that injury going forward. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with him. Obviously, it's probably healed by now, sure, but we got to see his testing. He didn't do any, his stock had, not showing up, not doing anything at the combine. Definitely, it hurts your stock, no doubt. A lot of people want to see Cooper DeJean, and we'll see what happens. Powerhouse says, Joe, if you ever come to Vegas, I got your first free drink. I appreciate it, man. I've never been to Vegas before, so appreciate the offer though. Lewis, I really hope they change course with the hip drop tackle ban. On the other hand, the Saquon becomes even more difficult to tackle. Yeah, that's gonna be where the Eagles will thrive with that new rule. But as of right now, I think it's gonna be a problem. I think the hip tackling stuff is gonna be a problem this year. I respect Saquon for trying to get Kelsey back. That was a nice clip. Yeah, he gave it a shot. Jose Serrano says, watch the whole podcast with Saquon. Good stuff. Yeah, it was fun to watch, no doubt. Rich said, I think we go corner or O-line first round. Possible. It's possible. Robert said, I won't be paying for Peacock. I'll listen to it with Merrill and kick it old school. That's fine. I get it, dude. That's already enough. You got to watch Thursday Night Football on Amazon, They're gonna add this on Peacock for one day. I know they're gonna have a playoff game on Peacock this year. I think they did last year. I'm not sure if they did. I thought they did last year. I thought they did. Well, Warzer, what do you think about the new rule for kickoffs this season? Saw a clip on YouTube and it looks interesting. I think they're just making the game safer. They're taking the physicality out of it. And I think it's easier. I mean, I think there's still going to be touchbacks. I think there's going to be the same amount of touchbacks. I don't think it changes that rule, but it makes it more important now because I feel like now it's one wall against you have a returner, you have a wall, and you have the kickoff wall close to each other. So, it may make it easy if you get through one wall, you're pretty much good. Then you have a one-on-one between the kick returner, and the and obviously the kicker. So, we'll see. J.M. McKay with True Chat. Thank you so much, man. He says, do you worry about Nick getting too involved again? I know he's the head coach, but him last year was a shit show. Yeah, no, of course. I think he says he's going to be involved. I think it's all a pony show. I don't think he's actually going to be involved. I think he says he's going to be involved just because. I think it's only because he doesn't want to make himself look like he's not doing anything, because he should just be a hands-off coach. That's just a morale builder. He should just be a cheerleader at this point, a motivational speaker at this point. I have to get some trust back from Nick, unfortunately, or earn his trust again, because unfortunately it's one of those situations where it got so bad at the end of last year, and you got to see the two sides to your head coach. One is when you're winning. When you're winning, okay, you want to see your head coach at least try and, how does your roster stay uplifted when you're winning, before so you don't lose any more games. It doesn't affect your team. Then the other side is when your team is going through a tough stretch, how does your head coach react? And, how does your head coach deal with it? How do they keep the players on the feet? How does he not lose the locker room or close to lose the locker room? I was not impressed with Serianni did with this team last year. I wasn't impressed with any of it last year. I wasn't impressed with any of it, unfortunately. Appreciate the super, man. First, it only takes a couple of seconds for two guys to get running full speed, and boom, still collisions. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It just looks weird now. I don't know. But the longer Reddick doesn't get traded, the more likely he'll be back with the Eagles. Oh yeah, the more quiet this is, every day that passes by, the more quiet this gets, he's gonna be back. He's going to be back. I don't see a trade happening unless someone jumps in and is willing to give the Eagles what they want, which I highly doubt that's going to happen now. It's already 2.5 weeks in the free agency. You're already 2.5 weeks in. He's still on contract for the year. I don't think Reddick's going anywhere. Which I think the new kickoff could encourage more squib kicks. Yeah, squib kicks could be good. Steve said, we will see that stupid ball screen, then we know Serianni is involved. Oh, yeah, no. I mean, we'll know if Serianni's involved. It won't be hard to find that out. It won't be hard to find it out. Tommy says, does Lurie understand that Nick is nothing without good coordinators? Proof in the pudding last week. Yeah, I mean, I think he knows that now. I think he knows that these coordinators need more control, and I think they will have more control. So I think we're gonna be in good hands there. I think we'll be good to go. No issue with that. I think we'll be good. I'm hoping they don't make the same mistake, because the only thing that Serianni should involve Kellen Moore in is getting the tush push involved. Tush push was not canceled. It wasn't banned. I think that's the only thing that Nick has to involve himself in when it comes to tush push or anything else like that. So Luger says if the offense stutters at all this year, Serianni has to go. Can't rely on acquiring top coordinators. No, dude. No. Yeah, no, I agree. If the Eagles go like 2-4 beginning of the season, oh yeah, he's got to be gone. I think he's got to go. He's really got to go. I think you have to go that direction, honestly. Matt says, I don't think Moore and Fangio would have came here if they didn't have much. No, I mean, I think what Lurie and Nick said about what Nick said about Fangio, Nick said that that's his defense. It's his defense. He said, oh, he'll be like, he'll be involved. Like, as a head coach, he's got to be involved in shit. He's got to sit there in meetings. Like, he's got to be involved in it somehow. Okay, just because he's a head coach and he has to. He's above Fangio. He's above Kellen Moore when it comes to label and position. But I'm not really worried about Fangio not having any control. Okay, I think Fangio's going to have a lot of control. I think he's already had a lot of control at this point. You know what I mean? I miss the old gray cap. No, you don't. I still have it. I still wear it. I wear it around the house if I'm not doing, that's like my go to work cap or like my whatever. But I just got this one. Online. I got two more coming in. I actually bought both of the draft hats. The green one is not actually the official draft hat. It's the same draft hat as the new draft hat coming out, but they just made another one in green. So I bought the official draft hat and I bought the green draft hat. So, but it's a snapback. It's a snapback because I like the trucker hats. I'm a bigger fan of trucker hats. So yeah, I had to last month I was gonna get a few hats. I was like, I'll wait, and I just didn't. I guess I forgot. So I was like, you know what? I'll get a hat now. I need to change it up. I feel better, actually. Nate says the only thing that saved him was the record of how Peterson got handled and him being pressure buddies with Howie, but head is hollow. Can't stand to even look at him anymore. I think what saved him is, I think Jeffrey Lurie even said it, he wasn't going to fire him over the last 7 weeks. Okay, but changes, a body of work had to be done this offseason. Like, things had to change this offseason. So at least if he was staying, a lot of things were changing. When it came down to Jeffrey Lurie looks at Nick's body of work more than, because that, like, the last 2 years, record wise, like, the Eagles did pretty good. It just comes down to a body of work that, he's not looking at the last 7 games. It just comes down to what he has done the last couple of years. So, and it's good. It's good. I mean, it's great. It says, 31-7 and 3 straight playoffs. Yeah, 3 straight playoffs. 31-7 and 3 straight playoffs. Yeah, like that's what you're looking at. Within 2 years, you made it to a Super Bowl with Nick, and unfortunately, you just didn't have good coaching last year. Like, you could tell, like, you had the talent, but man, dude, like, the way that they were winning games and winning ugly every week, it was the most annoying shit. And if they weren't going to adapt and make changes and make adjustments, teams were just going to adjust to what we're doing offensively. And they did. And the Eagles did nothing but sit there and run the same shit every week. And that's been the biggest problem going forward, Been a big problem. Hell says, how many hours a week do you spend creating content that looks like a full-time job? Pretty much. I mean, yeah, it's every day. I don't really have an off day. Last year, I didn't even take a day off last year. Really, like, besides the holidays, like, usually June and July are like the slowest months. Like, half of May, June and July are like completely dead. YouTube's kind of dead at that moment. So, like, that's like vacation time. I'll do like a video every other day. That's how like dead it is. But I didn't really take a day off last summer. I made videos every day last summer. So it might change this year. This year might change. I might do like one video every 2 days. I might schedule a bunch of videos. You know, once the roster is kind of complete, then we can go through competition and go through camp and, you know, stuff like that. So, Kay says he didn't even let Swift touch the ball for a whole game. Goddard didn't get a passing play on him in weeks. Nick isn't and shouldn't be a play caller. Let the OCDC cook and we'll be great again. That's you're 100% correct. I'm so pissed off over DeAndre Swift and what more he could have done. Like, there's just so much more we could have done last year, and it just sucks. Just sucks, man. I want to ask you guys, do you guys know? I just want to get your guys' opinion. Do you guys know what the Have you guys ever heard of Roundtable Sports or no? I just want to know if anybody watches that or not. That's all. You guys know what Roundtable Sports is? Everybody watches that. Philly thinks last year what made me more disappointed as a fan than Nick Serianni. That's why I'm not really on the boat with Nick this year. Like, this year, I'm kind of just like, let's see what he does. Let's see how involved or not involved he is. He really pissed me off the last 7 weeks last year. He really did. His attitude got worse. His post-game press conferences were even more worse every week. We have, Tommy says, we have that record because of coordinators and personnel. Last year was just a 10-play playbook. I mean, off of a 10-play playbook, like, they still won 11 games. They you know, the last 7 were atrocious, but it's just crazy. Like, this team should be almost this team should have been a lot further than they were last year. It's almost disgusting to think about. Jackson, what's going on, man? What up, Joey? What's up with Hassan? No, I mean, it's a standstill, man. It's a standstill. The Eagles are going to get Bradbury back. The Eagles are going to get Hassan Reddick back. So, never heard them. I just wanted to know. I'm thinking about getting the new draft hat and getting the black one. I'm going to order my Saquon Barkley Eagles Midnight Green is this coming week after I pay my rent. I get the rent, dude. Gotta pay the rent. You know? Yeah, be careful ordering Saquon Barkley jerseys or ordering from Fanatics right now, because apparently people have been ordering Saquon jerseys and apparently they're not getting their jerseys until October. When you see the processing, you see when you'll get the jersey after you order it, it looks like people aren't getting these jerseys till fucking October. I don't know why that's happening, but just be careful. I've seen some people post some stuff on that. I don't know if it's just an NFL shop thing or if it's a Fanatics thing. So I'm not sure. With more hustles, we have 16 names on the free agent tracker. The team had more free agency in one period. That much? The Rams probably, their Super Bowl year. I mean, they signed a lot of guys that year. Maybe it wasn't 16. I'm not sure. Your estimation's May 4th? Okay, that's not bad. I saw some people saying it said October, so I wanted to make sure nobody was getting screwed on that. My X count is messed up. I don't see any notifications. That's weird. Jerseys are really on back order. That's just nuts, dude. Really? Are they really selling out of Saquon Barkley jerseys? Let's see here. Don't pay for express shipping. They're basically pre-order. They won't come that quick. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I mean, before the draft, yeah, I get it. It says Taiwan destroying Baltimore. Port traffic kind of messed up Jersey delivery. Temu has them for 1 cent. Dude, I always see ads for Temu. Like, you could buy a TV for fucking 10 cents. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, it's so stupid. I've seen that ad, that Temu. I get that shit on fucking Twitter all the time, and I get ads for it on YouTube as well. I made a mistake the last time I bought an Eagles running back jersey. If you know, you know. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out who you're talking about. I mean, the last like big mistake running back that like DeMarco Murray. Yeah, I get it. I get that. I had a DeMarco. I actually still have it. I have it. I bought a DeMarco Murray like jersey shirt. But that was it. Josh Huff. Josh Huff had so much. Josh Huff had so much. I thought he had such a high ceiling to be something else. I really did. He just never like got up there, man. You know? While saying Nick Serianni doesn't qualify as a coach is insane. Typical fan behavior. Love to discredit people. He's an actual NFL coach who made a Super Bowl. Oh, I'm not saying he's not an NFL coach. I just think he's out of his pay grade when he does specific things. He got cocky. He got conceited after the 22 Super Bowl. He took over play calling. He never incorporated what Shane Steichen had in the building when it came to play calls to keep this offensive momentum going. You got to keep your playbook in-house and keep what you do well in-house. And the Eagles didn't do any of that. So... Well, the fans may seem like playing and coaching in the NFL is no, it's definitely not. Definitely not. It's just I think we're just sick and tired of when we have like good talent in this room and then they don't use it. Like I still, even when we played good in 22, I still felt like they didn't use the talent to their advantage. I think they could have done even more, you know. So we'll see. You know, don't put yourself in a spot like at least like Nick tried. Nick tried play calling in 21, and within like what half the season he gave play calling to Shane Steichen, and then Shane Steichen brings him to a Super Bowl, and then he just takes the play calling back and doesn't give it off to anybody else. Acts like Brian Johnson's the offensive coordinator, and he's just an offensive assistant at this point. It's just ridiculous. So that's where I'm at with the whole situation. It's a new year. It's fine. I'm not worried about it. It is what it is. I'm not gonna stress over it. I'm not gonna go crazy over it. You know. So that's where I'm at. So we're gonna go another couple minutes. We have 247 in the chat. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like this stream up like crazy. We'll have videos out tomorrow. I'm gonna have to work on some videos late tonight, which I don't like doing because I like getting stuff done early, but unfortunately I have some stuff to do. I have some stuff to do today. So be a lot of stuff going on, but Nifty 350D with the super. Thank you so much, man. He says they might cut Bradbury for Caucasian Cooper. That could be a possibility, man. Could be a big possibility. I made a video on that this morning on a lot of other things about Isaiah Rodgers and let me see here. I think there's a big chance there. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what they're going to do, but I guess we'll find out, man. It's only a matter of time. We're going to find out the truth, because it wouldn't shock me. It really wouldn't. It really wouldn't shock me if they keep Bradbury. It wouldn't. So we will see. We will see. People, let's see. Sean says, I've been done with Nick. I get being a player's coach, but when the team quits on the player's coach, that means he should be. Well, it's just he didn't have a plan. The problem is he never really had a plan of having coaches that could take over this offense and defense. Like, he put way too much on himself. He went in over his head last season. He went in way over his head last season. I think we can all kind of agree on that. So, Nifty with the super chat, thank you so much, man. It says Eli Rick's draft profile is exactly what he is. Sticky on short routes, but he isn't running with DK or anyone elite. Yeah, I mean, I would give it more time, man. Like, I don't, these guys aren't going to play on the inside. I mean, he's got too much competition in front of him. I don't know if he'll ever be a starter in the league, or at least here anyway. I don't think the Eagles have time to. The Eagles have time to see guys produce, but because where we're at right now, I think like he's got way too much in front of him. I think Keely Ringo is obviously better than him right now on the outside. But I can agree with that, though. Let's see. Kelly Green says, if the Eagles move up in the draft first round, what position are they going to go after? Just for fun question. It could be after an edge rusher. It could be, I don't think it would be, I don't know. Could be Dallas Turner, maybe. Maybe they go a different route. I think it's corner. I think it's Quinion Mitchell. I think it's, it could be Verse. It could be, depending on how much they move up. It depends. I would love for them to draft a corner in the first round. I'm all on the board of drafting a corner. I don't really even have my favorite player of this draft, to be honest, because I think there's a lot of solid guys in the first round. No issue at all. Cooper Caucasian. Nick looks like the type he's the owner of an Italian restaurant. What can I do for you? What can I do for you over here? Philly thanks to join my Eagles mock draft. 22 pick Aaron Cooper, 50 pick Cameron Kitchens, 53 pick Ray Davis. Damn, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Jack says, Joey, you're the man. Thanks for all the content. Appreciate it, Jackson. A try, man. A try. He says, I think Cooper will be an impact immediately, then move away from Bradbury. Shit, Ringo could take his place. Yeah, Cooper might be. Look, because I feel like if they draft Cooper, they could do whatever they want with him. That's the greatest thing. Like, they don't need to get him for just one position. They get him for multiple positions. Say, you know what? Let's get through camp, and whatever position these guys, some of the depth guys, if a depth guy makes it to a certain position, or Isaiah Rodgers is looking good, they might just throw, Cooper DeJean at another position, So it could be what it is. But All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna get going. It's like 3:16. I have to go somewhere at 4 o'clock. So it was supposed to be a short one today, or I knew it was gonna be a short one today. We got 227 in the chat. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like up the stream like crazy. Make sure you check out the memberships for draft highlight reactions and all the other extra content that's there. Doesn't matter what tier it is, you get all the content at whatever tier that you do purchase. It's extra content. It's there if you want it. It's all there. I don't want to cut it short, but I only had like an hour and a half today. So tomorrow we will do more tomorrow. We'll have another stream tomorrow, probably every day this week. So we'll be streaming every day this week, doing our thing, and yeah, we'll be ready to go and doing our thing. So all right, guys, thank you all for the super chats. Thank you for everything today, and we'll have another video out tomorrow early, probably. So all right, love you all. I'll see you guys on the next one. Shake Squad up, follow slide. Peace out, guys. Peace out. Peace.